Hello, so welcome to another set of Fairies Cross Pilates online from home. So this time we're at week 1 and this is week 1 of 8. Now the classes are quite progressive, so it's lovely to have new beginners joining in with me all the time, and for those beginners to be able to feel like they're getting a little bit too good for this and that they're progressing towards the true improver, towards intermediate classes. So this will be one of our easiest classes, being week 1 in our beginner towards the improver set. So anybody who's not quite there for the second level class, that's labeled normally improver / intermediate. If you're not quite there yet, just any chance that you get when you start to know some of these exercises, just push yourself a little bit harder. There will be very little with both legs up today. I'll introduce it just slightly, but very little double tabletop in this class today. We're actually going to be starting in standing, then we'll be down onto our hands and knees, and we will be doing some of the usual lying on our back. So most classes are around 40 minutes. I don't like for them to go on too long for you. I just want to keep you interested. And of course, as the weather's getting better, and it is a very chilly morning in here this morning at 8:10, the sun is coming in the windows. So I have my setup moved around a little bit where I hope that you can see me as well as possible against that blank wall, and that the sun won't actually get onto my mat, I don't think. So what I was going to say was, if you have got enough connection to watch your YouTube, don't be afraid to move around. Like Pilates, I know traditionally maybe more people would do in the winter time, but do take your mat outside once you've got a flat level area. Even grass would be okay if you're not hay fever sufferer, and a cushioned mat. Feel like you can use this class in fresh air if you like. The only thing will be you'll need some internet connection to run your YouTube. Okay, so enough of that. Now we get up to standing. I'll explain as we go. I will always be trying to look for or trying to think of things that you may be doing wrong, and I will cue and correct you. So I'll speak quite loudly and I'll breathe loudly at times as well, so that you can hear how I do breathe in the exercises. I will explain it, but please don't get too bogged down about the breathing right at the very start. Just focus today on moving, enjoying moving, trying to listen to some of the cueing, thinking about the muscles that are working, and the breathing will come. Okay, up to standing. Right, so shoes off for Pilates. You can be on your mat if you want the challenge in standing. Now the first thing we're just going to do is rise to the tiptoes, down to the heels. Do that with your double arm swing. So exhale as you come up if you can, inhale as you come down. Looking to warm up now through our calf muscles, through our arches, and focusing on our shoulders first. So we don't want to scrunch our shoulders towards our ears like this. Okay, we want the blades to stay down your back as your arms swing up. So shoulder blades low, arms up. Now if anybody has a repetitive click in the shoulder or suffers from bicep tendonitis or maybe rotator cuff issues, you can certainly bend the elbows, but as you start to get stronger, these should improve anyway. Okay, so elbows bent and keep rising up. Just to get a little warmed up now. 3, 2, and 1. Now I want you to stop and grow tall. Imagine this helium balloon is pulling you up through your ceiling or your roof. Stand on the feet using the center of the heel, the base of the big toe, and the base of the little toe. Just come to rest in those 3 points in each foot. This is the important area now. So let's think about our pelvic pocket. So if we arch the back and we tip the water out the front of the bucket, we can feel compression across the lower back and our tummy muscles are very long. Now we do the reverse of that. We'll suck in the tummy muscles, keeping the knees straight, round the lower back, tucking the tailbone underneath, spilling water out the back of the bucket. You can feel you have to tighten the tummy to do that. Try that again. Tip the water out the front of the bucket. Tip the water out the back of the bucket. Keep going. Feel how your back moves. Now mine moves quite a lot. Your back may only move half of that. And you might be wondering, really? Well, is that actually a movement? If we can recognize this lumbopelvic movement, it'll help us as we get better to correct our technique when we're lying down. So tip the water out the front. Tip the water out the back. 2 more. like the back. Now we want to stand where the water's in the bucket. It's not spilling either way. Your bucket is now level, so your tummy muscles are holding you there. Okay, this time we're going to put our opposite hand and leg bent, and we're going to change. Now I want you to focus now on keeping that bucket in that level position. So to do that, we think about the spine being nice and long up through the roof. We think about the lower tummy gently pulling in around here. So these deep tummy muscles below the tummy button, they're actually wrapping all the way around towards your back. So keep pulling gently in and up. We talk lots about the pelvic floor when we're lying down. For now, I want you to imagine that you're stopping passing wind and water from squeezing upwards and inwards back to front passage. Gentle contraction, because really the idea is that you keep squeezing it. You're not letting go of it. So you keep squeezing up and in through the pelvic floor and in through the lower tummy. And relax. Okay, widen the toe angle and exhale, bend. Okay, your kneecaps here are following over your second toe. Now we're going to add the arm sweep with it. Just coming up as high as your arms would like to go there. If you want to stop below 90 degrees, that's okay. Looking for warming up, looking for limbering up. So Pilates is a mixture between motion, where we want to really move joints, stretch joints, and stability, where we're trying to get strong. Now we're working big muscle groups. In here, if you want to exhale there, inhale, exhale, inhale. Just sweep those arms higher if they go. Exhale, inhale. We go for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, now this time we're going to do a little plie. We're going to side bend over, look down at your mat, and take that top arm in for 3 big circles. That's number 2 and 3. Now change the direction of that arm. Of course, anybody with nipping shoulders, just minimize the range. You can always bend the elbow like that. The idea is that you're side bending your waist and you're stretching around your ribs. We come to neutral and push up. So we go the other way, plie, side bend, looking down helps the neck, circle, stretch that arm on circle, and reverse it. And 3, lovely. Now back up to standing. Okay, this time we're going into stride standing. Now that means one foot in front of the other. If you can, rise onto your tiptoes and hold that position, okay? So thinking again about your bucket, don't be too arched in your back. That's the bucket tipping forwards, bucket tipping back, middle. Tall helps you to think about that. Helium balloon up. Now holding in gently, take your hands right back. 2 hands right back. Now press your palms behind you and lengthen your fingertips through the floor. So imagine you're really pushing your fingertips away from you. Okay, now I want you to feel these muscles behind the shoulder blade, under the shoulder blade working. And we're going to practice our pulsing arm taps. So we're going to breathe for 5 little pulses and out for 5 little pulses. Breathe in for 5 little taps like this. Straight arms, now you don't want your elbows or your wrists to be flopping and bending, okay? So push back, hold the wrists strong, and little pulses. If you can't manage to be on the tiptoes, just come down onto the heels, still standing on that tightrope if possible. I'm going to exaggerate the breathing for you so you can hear. Okay, relax there and switch the foot position. So you have your other foot in front, you come back up if you can, and again we push back, we engage those lower shoulders, neck nice and long, don't poke your chin forwards, helium balloon pulling us up, and now we pulse the arms. So we should be starting to just feel the backs of the arms, the lower shoulder blades, just starting to work in here. And we will be doing these arm taps later when we're on the mat. So I'm just teaching you the breathing now. 5 little taps as you breathe in, 5 little taps as you breathe out. 5 little taps as you breathe in, and 5 little taps as you breathe out. Well done. Now down onto the feet as normal, toes pointing mostly forward. Some will want a fraction to turn out and sit back into a squat. So here we work our big muscles, our thighs, our bottom, our back muscles are working. We're keeping our back straight, so we're pushing our hips back, bending the knees, but we're not rounding the back in this one. So you're thinking about sitting down into a low stool behind you. The lower you go, the harder it gets. Anybody who would like to cross the hands on the chest, that's fine. Watch the neck position does not do this, so we don't want to squeeze the back of our neck. Remember, we're keeping our neck nice and long, so our neck and our head are an extension of our spine. We're going to keep them long, and we're going to feel that we're stretching and lengthening and strengthening our neck by doing that. So we're going to do 4 more, and 3, and 2, and 1. Excellent. Just roll back your shoulders. We're ready to bend now. So anybody who's nervous of bending or who hasn't been bending their back very much, maybe you have had acute back pain before, often you're ready to bend and you just don't know when you should. Okay, so what you're going to do, gently pull in your tummy muscles. You're going to bring your chin onto your chest. You're going to let your shoulders come round too. Now starting to round your back, but you can take the support of your hands and your thighs. Gently coming down as far as you want to come towards your feet. As you do get down, breathe in. And as you breathe out, you pull in through the tummy muscles, and that helps you to roll your way back up to standing. And we'll take the 3 shoulder circles again. 2 and 3. Ready to go again. So we're going to bend. We're going to bend right down, chin on chest, keep coming down, right down towards the feet. Inhale as we hold as far as you want to go. You don't have to get to the feet. And exhale as you start sucking in through the tummy, coming back up, peeling all the way. Roll 3 times, and we're going down now. This time we're going to stay down and get onto our hands and knees. So we roll down, breathing out, bending, bending, bending. Inhale, hold it. Exhale, take your hands forwards, down onto your hands, and come down onto your knees. So now we're in 4-point kneeling, okay? That's what it's called, hands and knees. So we're going to practice now first our shoulder position and then get our backs moving. So like I said, if you shrug the shoulders up and poke the chin and have a short, tense neck, you do tend to get tight here. We don't want to do that. So we take our shoulders to our hips. Pull the blades down your back towards your hips. Have your neck nice and long. Don't have your chin poking. Don't have your head down here. So have your head as an extension of your spine. Now focus on the tummy. Suck it in. Round the back right up into cat. Right up, pulling the tummy muscles upwards and inwards. Remember, that's kind of like backwards tip of the bucket in standing. And then let it down. Arching, arching, arching the back. And that's the forward tip of the bucket. So you're sucking it in, one extreme. Hold it on the in-breath. Breathe out, move. And again, that's your other extreme. So we do our cat for mobility. We want to move. We don't want to find our middle point just yet. We're actually trying to move our whole spine. And in doing that against the gravity, we are working. We're pulling that tummy in. Okay, start to activate those deep tummy muscles. Pulling. Inhale, hold it. Exhale. just don't poke the chin. And again, suck in. Okay, now I'm going to ask anybody that would like to do that with one leg hovering to try this. You don't have to. Suck it in. Inhale, hold it. Exhale, lower it down. So that makes the cat a bit harder. So you have one leg hovering, you're sucking in, sucking in, sucking in, pulling in through the tummy, and lowering down. We'll do 2 more of those. And lower it down. And we do 1 more of those. And lower it down. Okay, switch over. If you have managed that on one leg, you better balance it up for the other. Suck in the tummy. And lower down. A little harder, you don't have to do that when changing the exercise. If there's ever anything you don't like, just pause. Take a little easy option. Shake out the wrists if you like. Moving on to thread the needle in a moment. We'll always be changing. We're never at the one thing for very long. It's always moving from one thing to the next. Something that mightn't suit you, don't worry, there'll be something coming up next that will. Now take your hand under, slide it across the mat. As far as you're able to go, allowing your back to twist and breathe in as you hold it there. Now breathe out as you pull that hand back. And we go for the easy version, just the elbow lift today. Just lift the elbow. Gets harder when we start to stretch the whole arm. Inhale, hold it. And exhale, same arm, bring it right under. Slide it across, feel stretch through the back of your shoulder blade and your rib area. Exhale as you pull that elbow up to the ceiling. Looking at it if you can. And we go down again. Inhale, hold. Exhale up. Okay, we need to switch that over. So it's weight there through this one, and we slide the back of our hand across. Inhale, hold it. Exhale, come up now here with the elbow, looking at the elbow. And underneath again. Slide and stretch it out. So your back's moving, and that's the point of this exercise. We want the back moving. We see a lot of people in physio who are very stiff in their middle back. The middle back doesn't move properly, the neck acts like a hinge, and that's where you start to get wear and tear and neck pains. We need the middle back to move through all these ranges of motion. Respect sharp pain, but stretching discomfort, feeling stiff. That's why you're doing this class. Okay, great. Now we're going to come down onto our tummies just a little bit longer, and then we're turning over. So you can have this folded towel just underneath your forehead. So if I just come down onto my tummy, you can still see me okay there, I think. So your towel isn't very big, it's just a few inches bulked up. This is a small bath towel. Forehead on it so I can still breathe and keep the long back of the neck. Bring the arms down by your sides. Focus on that bucket tip if you can. So you really suck in the tummy and round the back. And then if you want, you can arch the back. Doesn't feel as comfortable in this position. So remember, we don't really like that forward tip of the bucket. So when we lie down on our tummies to do things where we lift the shoulders, we suck the tummy in. Push the pubic bone towards the mat. Tuck the tailbone down a little bit, and that will help you. It'll minimize how much you feel it in the back. Shoulders down now, away from the ears. Practice that. Slide the hands away towards your feet. Think of long collarbones. So you're lengthening the collarbones. I know they're bones, but you're imagining that they're getting longer, and that takes the fronts of your shoulders off the mat. Squeeze the blades together. So just again, take the shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze them gently together. You can leave the fingertips touching at the moment. Shoulder blades down. Squeeze them together. We're going to make this harder if you can. That has to always be the first step. Shoulders down. Squeeze together. Now lift your hands. Okay, you're holding your hands. You're just hovering them by the sides of your thighs. And relax. Okay, so each one, we suck in the tummy, we pull the shoulders down, squeeze the blades together, lift the hands, inhale, hold it, exhale down. And again, shoulders down from the ears. Suck in the tummy. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower. Now you're going to ask those who want to hold it for longer. So shoulders down, squeeze the blades together, lift the hands, keep it there. Keep it there, keep squeezing your blades together. Don't let the shoulders round down towards the mat. Keep squeezing them together. Now reach your fingers further to your heels. Really push your fingertips down towards your feet. Feel those shoulder and upper back muscles now trying to work against the gravity to hold you in position. Okay, release it. One more like that, and harder if you want. So shoulders down, squeeze together, fingers lift if you can, reach them to your feet. Now hover up the face, keeping the tummy pulling in gently. You're not coming up too high yet. Okay, and hold the position. That's breaststroke preps, different versions of it. Hold your position there. Breathe. Okay, and relax the head, sweep the hands in front, sweep the hands back. Just bring them to 90 degrees out to the side, like a stop sign. So your arms are out from your body, and then your elbows are bent at 90, your palms are touching. So we do the same thing, shoulders away from the ears. Practice that pull down of the blades. Hold the shoulder blades down and see if you're able to hover up your hands and elbows at all. So it's much harder in that position. Shoulders down, hover the hands. So this is called Swan Dying. And as you get better at Pilates, you will be doing things right up here. So we have to work into those positions. So if we keep the elbows bent, out to the side, hover. You're really looking to engage your lower shoulder blade area here and not to feel this up the neck. Leave your head on the towel, hover up and release. Just two more of those. Shoulders down, hover up, release, and again, shoulders down, hover up. Put the hands now onto your shoulders and bring yourself up and then bend the knees and we come into shell. So after we have been on the tummy quite a long time and we've been lifting up, it's normal that you'll feel a bit stiff through the back. So let's bend and take that relieving stretch. This is called shell. Anybody whose knees don't bend this much or whose ankles are cramping, the feet are cramping. I have shown tips and tricks before, but being week one, I'll just show you that again. If you have another towel and you pop it in the front of the ankle, that can offload the cramping. That's easier. And of course, if you just want to come down onto the forearms and get as much rounding as you can always rock back into that if your knees just don't fully compress, okay? Well done. Now come up to kneeling. Up to high kneeling, okay? And we just release our wrists. What I'm doing there is I've linked the fingers, just lift one elbow and lift the other elbow, and it's just a nice motion for the wrists, okay? And again, just an arm circle. You'll feel here as the arms go up that if you don't keep the tummy tight, that you'll arch back. So I don't want you to do this, okay? I want you to keep the tummy tight, keep the ribs to hit connectors nice and tight. Now we're going to work those now. You haven't really worked the tummy hugely yet, so we've done quite a lot of mobility. Now we're going to go down on our backs and we're going to work on switching on deeper contraction through lower tummy, through pelvic floor, and we're shortening these tummy muscles, okay? Should make sense when you're done. So you're using your towel now under the back of your head and you're down onto your back. Here comes the sun over the roof of the house, but I don't think it's going to come onto my mat. I have it angled. I think it should be okay here. Right, so the knees are both bent at 90 degrees and you're in what's called the rest position when your feet are down and you're lying on your back like this. The purpose of your towel, by the way, is so that you're looking just about 30 degrees forwards of vertical, okay, just above the knees. If you don't have a towel, or you have a very stiff neck, or your towel is too thin, you'd be looking back up here. Can you see that poking chin, tight back of the neck? So we're avoiding that. We don't want that. So pop the towel in. Some of you might want no towel, but as long as you're looking that way, that's fine. Okay, the bucket tip now is important when you lie down on your back. So you arch the back, make a big space underneath, and flatten that space. So that's tipping the water forward out the bucket, that's tipping back out the bucket. Do that 2 or 3 more times. You may be very stiff, that's okay, that's why you're practicing this. It will get better, you will start to feel it. As long as you're feeling that as you tip the bucket back, you're tightening the tummy. That's really what I want you to feel at the moment. So as you tip your bucket back, you're tightening your tummy. Okay, now, when we do Pilates, we'll be lifting up the legs in this position. Now, we don't want the back completely squished into the mat because it only works the upper tummy muscles, and we're really focusing on what's happening down low. So we like to have about 1 finger or 1 small grape gap under the mat. That's our neutral spine. So stop where you feel you're in your middle, your 2 extreme middle, and you have about 1 finger or 1 grape. Okay, now we need to tell our back stay put. So we need to tell these deep tummy muscles again, gently suck in, like you're pulling your lower tummy towards your spine and around to your spine. And then the bottom of the cylinder is the pelvic floor. So imagine you're stopping passing wind and water, you're squeezing upwards and inwards towards you. Now you shouldn't see anything moving yet, you'll just feel that happening. So now we're ready to bring one of our legs to tabletop. This is called center set. We've switched these muscles on. Now without moving anything else, just slide one leg up into tabletop. Hold this leg steady, don't let your shin bounce. Okay, keeping your tummy tight, start your arm taps like we did in standing. So straight arms, fingers squeezed, wrists straight, and little pulses here. So we're breathing. In 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that's great. As you do that, you're thinking, why are we doing these pulses with the arms? Well, we're really trying to see, can we hold the body steady and not bounce the leg while moving the shoulders, and we're trying to coordinate our breathing rhythm. So we want to breathe into the sides of our ribs rather than bulging the tummy up and down, because remember, we're looking for the flat tummy. We don't want the tummy to lift up and down. So as we breathe in, our ribs are expanding to the sides. As we breathe out, they're sinking in. So just have a little practice, breathing in for 5 taps, breathing out for 5 taps. Keeping the lower tummy nice and tight, keeping your pelvic floor pulling upwards and inwards, holding that neutral spine or that 1 grape under your lower back, nothing changing. And then we'll set this leg down. So don't let go of the tummy just yet, keep the pelvic floor working. Once the leg touches down, now you're allowed to relax, okay? So we're back again, neutral bucket, center strong, pull it in, pelvic floor up, other leg up. Back to the arm pulses. Okay, anybody who finds this far too easy, come up to abdo prep as well. Don't worry, it really will get harder. Okay, so your shin is steady. You're holding nice and tight through the lower tummy. You're breathing in and out through the sides of the ribs. And your leg is staying steady. Well done. Okay, now we let that leg down, and then of course once the leg touches down, that's when you can relax and switch off. So now we're going to take our fingertips behind the head, keep the elbows sticking out to the sides so we're not just tugging at the head. We're going to do abdo prep with head support. So we're breathing out, we're pulling in that lower tummy, and we're pulling up the pelvic floor. That's important as your start point. On the next breath out, slide your ribs towards your pelvis. Bring the head with you, but don't pull the head. So exhale, slide the ribs towards the pelvis, and down again. I'm going to ask you to do 5 more, and try not to let the pelvic floor forget that it's still squeezing upwards and inwards. So anything where your head is up or your legs are up, your lower tummy should be staying flat and your pelvic floor should be squeezing closed. Keep thinking of stopping passing wind and water. Try not to do this and this bearing down sensation. Squeeze it up and in. Keep the up and in sensation for the last 2. And 1. Head down to the toe. Arms down by your side. Bucket tip again, just in case your back's getting stiff. It's fine to do that as a reliever when you have your feet down. Now, back into your middle back position. Keep it there through pulling in the tummy muscles and up the pelvic floor. 1 leg up to tabletop. Hold steady now in tabletop. Okay, and this time we're going to ask that leg now to move. So without moving your tummy muscles, without letting them bulge up, without moving your back, hold it all still. Arms can come out a little so you can see that. Breathe out, push. Breathe in, return. Same leg, breathe out, push. Breathe in, return. So I'm pushing at what's called 45-degree angle. The 2 thighs are fairly level when I get to there. Anybody wants to make it harder can go lower. What you find is as you do push the leg out, especially if you go low, your back is going to want to arch. You're going to want to make that space big, but we're trying to avoid that. So we have to really tighten our tummy. So as that leg does push away, we do not want our grate to get any more space. We don't want to let it roll away. We hold the tummy muscles tight as we push our leg away from us. We'll do that twice more. Hold the tummy muscles tight, push your leg out. And we do 1 more. Hold the tummy muscles tight, push your leg out. Okay, setting down and let go there, tip the bucket. Right, back again, other side. 1 leg up, okay. Hold the imprint, so we talk about imprint again. Hold the tummy muscles tight, okay. Don't let your back arch too much and push your leg away from you. Return. And again, 45 degrees is standard. Lower gets harder, and of course higher is a little easier on the tummy muscles. I want you to start to really try and feel the tummy's doing something. Okay, it's squeezing the ribs towards the pelvis so that your back does not overarch as you press your leg away. If you want to take your fingertips to your tummy muscles and feel them, they should be getting quite tight there as you press your leg away from you. If you haven't understood it yet, please bear with me, don't panic. We'll do lots more teaching on the tummy as the weeks go on. Sometimes we can understand it, but we can't actually make the muscles continue because they get too tired. And we set down there, well done. And tip your bucket. So I am just going to finish the teaching the 2 legs up. Anybody who's found what we've already done quite hard today, I want you to put the hands back behind your head and practice those little abdo preps again, like this, coming up off the toe. Teaching double tabletop today and more in week 2. So when we want to bring the 2 legs up, again you're starting always from the middle bucket position, the 1 grade, the tummy pulling in, the pelvic floor squeezing up. We take our first leg up. Now here's the harder bit. If we just lift the second leg up and we haven't told any more of the tummy to do anything else, when we lift that leg, the back arches, the tummy lifts up, and that's called doming. And at the moment my tummy is slack. It's not getting stronger. Okay, so let's do that properly. So we're in our neutral bucket, one grade, tummy pulling in, lower pelvic floor pulling up, first leg up. We know how to do that. Now, before this leg lifts, the ribs need to squeeze down towards the hips. So imagine a concrete block now on these lower ribs. You want to really pull them down. And the mechanism of pulling those ribs down, the tummy muscles, they're hard, okay? You're working them. So now we're ready to lift the second leg. And as the second leg is up, we've just only got that one great space under the back. We're nice and flat through the tummy. We don't want to let the tummy muscles bulge up towards the ceiling. You can start your arm taps again and breathe. So can you keep the back in the neutral position? Can you suck the tummy flat? Can you hold the pelvic floor up? And can you breathe at the same time with the arm taps? This is your last challenge now. Can you squeeze up and in through your pelvic floor? Really pull your tummy muscles in and up. Keep it flat. Remember, they're working. Okay, they're strong, they're working, but they're pulling in. We're pulsing our arms. We are not holding our breath. And we're all ready to control our set down. So don't plunk the legs down. Set one leg down, keeping the tummy working. Set the other leg down. And when the two touch, now you relax. So you don't relax the back until, and the tummy muscles until the second leg is down. Just makes the back more supported while you're moving through the legs. Okay, you've done the challenges. Now let's stretch. Arms out to the side, feet together, knees can be bent up quite high. And we roll the two legs over to one side and our head can go the opposite way. Breathe in and hold it. And breathe out. Now roll your two legs to the other side as your head looks over your shoulder the opposite way. So here you can see I am lifting the pelvis. Okay, I want it to lift. I do want to twist the back. Because the feet are touching, you don't really have to worry about the pelvic floor and the lower tummy. It's a stretch now. So once the feet are in contact, there's much less chance of you straining, bearing down, okay? You're not getting stronger, but you're getting movement, you're getting stretch. So if anybody's wondering why we do Pilates, what do we get out of that? The main thing as we progress is we get really strong in our abdominals, our shoulders, our hips. I didn't do as much hip work in this class today. I'm just going to show you if I was trying to work at a harder level, and I don't want beginners to do this, so while you're just stretching there, if I was to come to double tabletop, maybe I might come up to abdo prep as well. Maybe I might have both hands over the head. I could be doing much harder things and getting stronger in the tummy muscles, okay? Or I could be doing two legs over with the feet up, getting stronger in the tummy muscles. There's much harder things to come, but you can't do them if you don't understand the pulling in of the tummy, the squeezing up of the pelvic floor, okay? Now I want you to move over onto your elbow and just push up to sitting. Okay, you can have both legs off to one side. If anybody's having any difficulty in the knee joints, it is okay to adjust or slightly straighten one of the legs there. And I want you to come over the top if you can. And again, anybody who's having difficulty in the shoulder, you can bend that elbow and just side bend your body. Otherwise, come right over the top if you can there. Hold that stretch. We're going to sweep this hand forwards and over the top again. Side bend over. If you're feeling it in the knee, don't be afraid to adjust the knee, that's okay. Just have to come over a little further and sweep your hand around. One more time on this side, over the top. Inhale, hold, and around. Roll back through the shoulders. Okay, and we'll switch this over to the other side. So if you want to put your hands back, just wiggle your legs over to the other side. These things get a little bit more graceful when we get better and we have more flow, okay? So over the top. And again, it's here you're stretching now, down through your side. You can have that bent elbow if you need to, or you can even just bring your arm across your chest if you need to, and return. So we come over. Now we try and sweep this hand forward. And round, and over the top again. Really lengthening out between the ribs and the hip. Sweep it round. And again, over the top, and sweep it round. Okay, I'm just going to make my way over to the camera a little closer. You can come either to kneeling or to standing. We're doing a few neck stretches just to finish off there. Okay, I've already done 41.5 minutes, but I did talk a lot at the start. So we'll push our knuckles down now. You can see I've just linked the fingers there with the knuckles facing away. I'm pushing them down, and what that does, that helps to keep the shoulders down. So if you're tight up through the sides of the neck, you get a better stretch. Now taking your ear towards your shoulder, and the other way, just gentle. In Pilates, we don't talk about seconds holding, we talk about breathing. So we breathe out, we breathe in to hold it, we breathe out, and in to hold it. And another one for you is just the forwards rolling. So I don't like you looking up to the ceiling when you're rolling, but if you come forwards and around, and again, just roll your neck around in a forward semicircle. So you're not looking up to the ceiling. Some people will not be sure about combining rotation and that whole roll, so you can just look over your shoulder if you prefer. This way gives a tougher stretch, especially as your hands are down behind your back. It stretches out your neck. Okay, and come back into your neutral, your middle line position. And just one more thing, often we carry too much tension up in our shoulders. So here today you did some work on trying to strengthen down here, and that holds us into better position. But for now, you might just remember this technique through the week. Breathe in, let them come up. But breathe out, let them down. And it's that quick drop that helps them to relax. So breathe in, let go. And again, breathe in, flop. Last one, let go. Well done. The last thing to say is, when you have completely let go, don't just slump, okay? Don't fall into that position. Think tall through the back of the neck, think long through the collarbones, and think about giving your joints lots of space up through the back of the neck. Well done, lots more learning to come in later weeks. If you've just started, always watch the week 1 first, and then it gets progressive from there. Thanks very much, everybody. Bye.